The artist recreates the world.
Okay, good. How's it sounding?
Welcome to the Artist Recreates the World. I am here with Prince Derek Dahl. We're in the middle of Boarding Market, energetic, Newark, the Newark. And I wanted to talk to Prince Derek Dahl because of Too Cute for You, the series, and all this energy and this vibe that you've gotten off of this piece. Talk about that, how you feel about that, like what's going on with that. I know you gave me some history, but just give us a little bit.
Well, Q for You is a new comedy/drama series that I've been working on over the past couple of weeks. It started off as a way for me to kind of laugh and get myself out of a funk or depression I was having due to grief. And it kind of became something that other people enjoyed, and I kind of just keep it going. Thinking about funny memories and conversations that I've had in the past, and just putting it into the art and making it relatable to people. So that's where we're at with it right now.
So I was telling you before that your work is so powerful on that level because it's not just self-expression, it's not just thematic, but then it goes into another level where it has this, it's pure, it's autonomous. You can't put your finger, you're not really affected, you are affected by outside sources, but you're not. And so I feel that that is the most powerful art when you get to that place. Now, of course, you did that on purpose, right?
Well, I don't know if it was on purpose or intentional, but I think one part of it is because I do it at home.
What do you mean by you do it at home?
Well, I record in my own space.
Oh, okay. Practice?
Practicing?
Yeah.
I don't really practice
You one
the
of
episodes.
those skilled artists that don't have to practice?
I don't rehearse,
Okay.
if that's what you're asking. I don't rehearse any of the sketches. I play out the conversation in my head, and then I immediately go into, okay, how do I want this to look? Set up the shots, and I go through it, and then, I edit once I'm done. But I think it's because I'm in my own space. I'm able to create and to control the energies around me at that time.
Right.
And so I'm really in it. I'm not really affected because there are no other people, there's no crew, there's no round tables.
Like we have a crew here.
Yeah, like you said, but it's just me. It's me and me seeking clarity or a feeling. So this last episode 4, Family Ties, I was missing my family. It's like, I haven't really talked to my mom in a while, or I gotta get in touch with my sister. And then I started thinking about some of the other skits that I had done. I was like, oh, I can tie Transisha to Brunel.
Right.
And Brunel has a grandmother.
So that's
the artist.
Yeah.
Right, and so I was like, the next episode is gonna be Family Ties.
Right. Very good.
Doing that.
Very
So
good.
letting it happen organically and being inspired by what's happening with me is how the show works.
Now tell our listeners about, you're also a musician, you're an actor, and what else? I mean, you do a few things.
I wear a couple of different hats. I like to think of myself.
Nice tattoo you got there.
Thank you so much. Shout out to Tangelo.
Who?
Tangelo.
Oh,
Tangelo Panda, my angel. I'm a musician, singer-songwriter, but I like to think of myself as just an entertainer, an entrepreneur,
Nice.
and an enlightener.
Undefined. You're undefined. And you're a spiritual being. How do people, I told you about my editor who saw your picture at the Pride event, and when she looked on the video screen, right, she touched the screen and she said, I love him.
Aww. Well, thank you.
And I think that's what you do. So how do you deal with those reactions that you get from people? Because even when we're walking down Boarding Market, people look at you and they don't know. Well, what's going on?
I don't know. I just try to operate in my own genuine spirit. I try not to be as affected by external things. And I was telling my friend earlier today, I grew into a space where I believe, as a real belief of mine, that each of us carry light. There's light inside of every person. No matter what we do, where we come from, there's light in every person. And I choose daily to be a person that brings that out of people. If I can't connect with you because you're black, or you're male, or whatever your preference is, or because you're an artist,
I like that, yeah.
I can connect with you because you're a human being. You're human first. And you carry that light.
That's good stuff.
And I can connect with you on that way. And I try to present myself that way to people too. So if they see it, they see it.
And in a real sense, if they can't connect to the light, then it's a reflection on where they are.
Right.
So that's good spiritual stuff. And I always love to bring in the spiritual. And it doesn't have to necessarily be religion, but the spiritual is that higher connection, that higher place, that higher consciousness where we all can connect. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what is art to you?
What is art to me? In a broad sense, art is an expression of God.
Art is an expression of God.
Art is an expression of God, and what that means is that with that same light that we have,
people on the bus watching?
Probably. Look at the little girl. Hey. She said not yet. I feel that we all have that creative spark. Some people are more creative than others and can channel it and bring it into existence.
Right. My exact language, yes.
Yeah, and so I feel like that's part of our God light too. It's like we're nothing but fragments of His imagination. We all have a role to play in God's dream. And that's it. That's who we are. The universe looking back at itself.
That's good stuff, son.
And so when you look at art, you look at these buildings. This started in someone's brain. Someone had to have that spark. The electrons had to be with the neurons and create this image. And they had to work to make these things real. And I believe that any art form that you have, that's what you're doing. You're taking that inspiration that you have and you're making it real. So art for me is, it's a reflection of God.
Talk about how do we improve our plight as artists here in New York?
Our plight?
How do we become better artists? I'm always tricky with that question. In your opinion, from your experience, from your vantage point, how does the artist improve their plight? And not necessarily monetary.
So, I mean, that's a really large question to unpack.
That's another interview.
Right, but for me, I think, because I don't speak from my experience in one person, but improving upon the art for me is being comfortable within that space. I've been in Newark for 5 years. I came to this coast as an artist, as a songwriter, and I got pulled into acting and modeling.
Songwriter too. Oh my God.
And it was the struggle between listening to what the world says we should be doing around 25 to 30 and, getting buying a house and working a 9 to 5 and all this other stuff and staying grounded as opposed to being a true airy artist where it's like, I really just want to create every day. I want to be in the studio singing. I want to be writing. I want to be painting. I want to be picking out different outfits. Like that's the world I want to live in. But seeking that balance, and I think that for a lot of artists, it's just finding the balance that works for you and committing to your art. Because when you commit to it, you create the space to get better. And I think that watching anything that I've touched or that I've done, that I've started, the next project that I do after is always better than the first one. And for me, like I was telling you, we were walking down, the attention sometimes gives me anxiety because now I know there are people waiting for the next one. Waiting for episode 4, waiting for episode 5, or you're waiting for the next freestyle, you're waiting for the next song, or you're waiting to see what I'm going to wear next. And it's a lot of pressure for me sometimes. And so I have to train myself to not focus on that part about what other people are expecting. And just maintaining my element of, listen, I do this because I love it.
Right.
Of course I'd love to make a living off of it, and I'd love to be able to pay all my bills with music and art and videos and comedy and stuff like that. But in the meantime, it's just being able to stay in that space for my own sanity, my own comfort, and the protection of my own light, is to create that art and to let the God light that's in me go into the world. Because I feel like if we don't use our gifts to serve people, then we have wasted something that God has entrusted us with. So, and I don't want to die wasting anything that I was given.
You're spot on. I couldn't say anything better. You wish I could ad lib on top of that. That's beautiful. Your face looks wonderful. You got your hair done. Boom. Keep doing your work. Just keep doing your work. That's all. Thanks for coming on and building my channel and also sharing with the artists, because that's what it's about. I want people to learn that all of us are in this together. And when you talk about that light, we have to learn how to ignite that light within us and within others.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you for the opportunity.
Anytime I see people,
If anybody wants to get an Unknown Negro shirt, let me know. That's mine too. Pretty good?
yeah, big thanks. We out. Shout out to Newark.